Hello. How's it going? All right. You could not freeze on me. That'd be great. Hi, Kareen. There we go. Hi, everybody. All right, back to the beginning. What is happening? There we go. No. Hi, Natalie. There we go. To the beginning. Okay. Happy Wednesday. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, Cheryl. All right, Lord, John. And the Hellfire Club. Come on. Pen. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. Oh, God.
Oh, so I'm not the only one that gets the days mixed up.
I know I did today. I pulled into I only got home from work a half an hour ago.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm like in the driveway and I was just kind of sitting there gathering my thoughts for a minute and I went, oh shoot, it's Thursday. I looked at my phone. I'm like, I have book club in a half an hour. Oh my God.
At least you were home and at least you're here.
Exactly. So no drink tonight for me, people. Sorry.
That's okay. That is okay.
You can't get Jim to make one for you?
I'm sure I could if I asked, but I'm like not relaxed enough.
There you
That's
Well, I'll have one for you.
Yeah,
all right.
I'll have one for you too.
Is it a bee's knees?
It is, but only because we had some left over from last week in the freezer. He was actually going to make me a bramble, but the stuff that he's using for the bramble, he's using for dessert instead.
Okay.
Which I will have after this.
Okay. Cheryl's drinking.
I just realized the straw looks so long that it looks like I don't even have there's a drink attached to it.
Hi, everybody.
This is just my strawberry gin lemonade thing. But I thought of you, Maria, because I was like, I try to figure out what you're going to call your drinks. And since you didn't make one, this is called the Grope Cunt.
As
soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, that's it.
That's it.
That's the one. Yep. Anyway, how is everyone?
I'm good.
It was in the book. I didn't just make that up, guys.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Becca started talking about possibly moving to New York. And I was like, wait, hold up. And it just made me really sad.
Yeah.
And then when I asked her to tell her dad about it, she's like, no, it's not soon. I was like, oh, good. She had me worried. So, because 2 of her friends are moving out of the state next March.
And she wants to go with the itch a little bit.
Just a little bit. I told her she can't move out till she's 25.
5.
You can't say that.
Well, Max moved out when he was 21. He moved out in June of 2020. And then Elliot moved out also in 2020, like a few months later. He was 25. So I thought, and the reason he stayed that long was for Becca, because, we didn't want her to feel like an only child. So he's like, okay, I'll stay.
Aww.
But anyway, so I just told her she can't move. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for you to move.
I know. Empty nest.
You gotta wait till I'm ready till you can move. But she's hardly here anymore anyway, so I'm kind of starting to get used to it.
Right.
But I still need some more time. Like 3 more years at least. It's hard when your kids move out.
Yeah.
Because then you like start thinking about all the things that, did I teach him this? Did I teach him how to do this enough? Did I do this? And, all the things that you start thinking of. And then you start sending them videos on Instagram because you're like, like this is the proper way to do your laundry. So you send them like videos so that they're, in case I didn't teach you enough, here's this.
Yeah. Listen, I'm 38 and my mom still sends me stuff about like they're like always like Instagram reels about whatever, who knows, whatever. And fruit fly must have followed me upstairs.
Yeah, my mom sends me stuff all the time.
Moms have to. That's what we have to do.
And I told them, look, this is just how it's going to be. You're going to get stuff from me, but I'm only going to send you important stuff. Yeah. So watch it or read it or whatever, because it's important. And they're like, okay. Okay, Mom.
Well, and I think the thing is too, like, you have such a great relationship with your kids that it's not like if they leave and move out that you're like never going to hear from them again. You're so close with them that, like that's something that that you have to like count on,
Yeah.
The boomerang kids. I was a boomerang kid. I moved out and then I moved home and then moved out again.
I was kicked out and then allowed to come back.
Empty nest equals clean. We're almost there. One's out, the other one's moving out in February. I'm good with.
Oh, he's moving out in February?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, but
I mean, sad,
but so, the plan.
Right
now is for him. He wants to move to Oregon with some friends that live in.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Yeah. Were you telling us that last week?
Yeah, I might have.
I think you might have mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. Becca, I keep bugging the kids about. I go, let's move out of the country. Let's move to Spain or Portugal or something like that. And Becca's like, because I'm like, don't you want to come? And we can walk everywhere and not have cars. And she's like, I would love that. But then she's like, you and Dad move there, and then we will come and visit. But it's not the same.
Yeah. I was literally just talking about that the other day, that I have no like ties to, like, if my friends and family didn't live here, I have no attachment to like where I geographically am.
Yeah.
Not anymore anyway.
We don't really either. I'm just my kids.
I'm
not super
someone asked
a lot of my family.
I don't want to miss it, but someone up at the top asked what we're going to read next, like what would be next chronologically, because they said it was Lord John and the Private Matter, which I think is the next one, right?
Yeah, I saw
them. Here we go.
So the next one in this book?
No, it's not the next one in this book, but it's the next one chronologically. Because we did Hellfire, Private Matter, and then Succubus, which is the next one in the book. So we would kind of like back and forth.
It's the story in here, and then the story in here, or this story, which is like a bigger book.
Yeah, and then she calls it a novel, not a novella. So
yes, and then back to this book to finish it.
It's so confusing.
I know.
It's very, very confusing.
Yeah, Corrine, you can skip it. I read it today, and I texted the girl when I sent my notes, and I was like, I love Lord John, and I find Harry Corey to be really funny. But I was so bored with this. Like it didn't grab me, and it was over so quickly, you know. And like I don't know. And I listen. I understand that it's a novella, and they're meant to be short. I get it. But it felt like the climactic event was like at the very, very end. So there was no like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I gave it about 3.5.
Yeah.
Because I liked it more than you did.
I mean, it's
timeline. Oh, so Laura wants to know timeline. So this is 1756. So Lord John has just come back after Ardsmuir has closed. So, Jamie.
He's probably dropped Jamie's
gone to Hellwater.
Right. Yeah, because when Geneva passes away.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The one thing I do like, and I realize we're only like 3 short stories in. The one thing I do like is that somehow Diana always finds a way to get Jamie Fraser in the story, whether it's that he's actually there, like in the case with Hal and Minnie, or if he's just a thought.
Yeah.
Like
right.
with Lord John in this one.
I
just like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because I think otherwise, like when we read the big books and you get these like secondary character chapters, you're like, yeah, it's fine, because like they're not the only one. You're going to eventually get back to the heart of it. Yeah, it was just okay. I was reading it to finish it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
We're still in the thick of all of the construction, so.
Is it still going on?
Oh yeah. I mean, last week they only did the demo. So Thursday, Friday, there was just all the demo. So today they tiled the floor, but just like with the spacers, like they haven't done the grout yet. Tomorrow they're supposed to do the tile in the shower and hopefully finish the floor. But then like a bunch of stuff like our vanity got delivered, but we have to put it together, and like our new baseboard heat, like all the random little our yard just looks like.
Home improvement is so fun.
Do you have a toilet in your front yard?
Side yard. but you can't see it because there's a ton of. Hi, Riley. There was a bug on you. Come here.
Carol's in Belize.
There was a bug on your arms.
Yes. Then there was a click beetle.
There was a click beetle.
Yeah.
You come here. You say hi.
Hi, Riley. We want to see you.
Oh. Okay, you're gonna do this.
Hi, Jose.
We love the back of your head. I like your green striped pajama. Or is that a pajama or a shirt?
He's just wearing a shirt to bed with his pull-up because it's hot.
Yeah.
He's my good boy. What does Mommy call you?
Riley.
Oh, okay, we're gonna be shy. That's fine. You want to just hug for a second?
What does Mommy call you? I feel like I know the answer to this.
You were
Rocking myself.
You were what? You were not rocking yourself?
I was not rocking when we went to the store. It was on me.
It was on you? The bug?
Still? Yeah.
Maybe
Even at night.
you were a cool
I
place.
saw its shadow.
You saw its shadow?
It was a lump.
It was a lump?
Then a sound lump.
Sure. Oh, okay. All right. Do you want me to help you get back in bed? Yeah.
I can't touch my screen. I want to touch it and scroll.
Great.
It can't be done.
When
Riley, are you gonna talk to us? Are you gonna say goodnight?
Do you remember?
No.
Do you remember when Mommy went on the train and then the plane, and I flew far, far away?
No.
I went with them.
What?
Yeah,
It's us.
they were there too. Isn't that cool? That's Tracy.
Didn't we
See,
talk to you
Maria.
on FaceTime?
Yeah, you talked a lot to us on the phone, remember?
Remember that you said that when you were running your computer?
I was on my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys are so fun.
I do remember that she was crazy.
You remember that she was Tracy?
He has a nice
Okay.
tan.
He does have a nice tan. You should see his toes.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to help you
Wish I
get
had
back in
a
bed,
tan.
okay?
But if I get back in bed, the bug will come back on me.
You know what? I'll make sure I look for it, okay?
Okay. You see that lumpy thing? That's its shadow.
Okay.
Oh,
If you see its shadow, turn on the light.
If I see its shadow, I should turn on the light.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to say goodbye to
I think
everybody?
you have to
No.
turn on the light to actually see the shadow.
Mhm.
Good night, Riley.
How about you just turn and give them a little wave? I'll wave with you.
Aw, good night, Riley.
You are a funny fellow.
How come they know my name?
How come they know your name? Because I talk about you and Amelia all the time.
And when we first met your mommy, you were in her tummy.
Here, listen to this story. When they first met me, you were still in my belly.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Whoop.
You were right here.
What?
And
You
then
were teeny tiny.
and you were just a teeny tiny thing. And then the next time we
in
met
the middle.
you, he was a big thing.
Yeah, and then
in your belly.
you got bigger.
Remember?
And then you got bigger
Yeah.
and bigger. And what does Mommy
Was
tell
it
you
the
to do? I say,
season
stop.
5,
What?
Mary?
What's that? Oh,
Stop
I
growing
say,
up.
stop getting. See, I tell you to stop getting.
My belly.
What?
No. My belly.
No. I say, stop getting bigger. Huh? Stop growing.
But yeah, because kids just grow.
But you can't because kids just grow.
They do.
Yep.
All right. Give a little
If
wait.
you see that lumpy shadow on me, that's the bug.
Okay.
Mom,
All right. Can you say goodnight?
bug.
You see that?
Yeah.
That's a scab.
That's a scab. Okay. You ready to get back in bed? I'm going to help you look for the buggy.
Huh.
All right. Can you say goodnight?
Good night.
Good night, Riley. Sweet dreams.
It's my sweet boy. What does Grammy call you? Her what?
Boy.
Her what?
Hi, boy.
Honey boy.
Honey boy.
Honey boy. All right, honey boy. Let's go. Hold on. Scooch your bumpy. Oof.
Good night.
I will be back. All right, go ahead, little
Okay.
man. I'll be. Oof. Now I'm sweating again.
All right.
Somebody's asking to see my tattoo. That's my tattoo.
Mhm.
I got it in Egypt.
Yep.
I know. I missed that age too. And then
And then I
also
don't.
And then I don't. I really like the ages. I've liked all the ages that my kids have been. Even their teenage years, I really, really enjoyed. But I like them as adults
Yeah.
too. Our
I agree.
oldest one, Elliot, he came over last night and hung out with us and had dinner and stuff, and he was just really fun to hang out. I'm drinking a bee's knees. It's gin and honey and lemon. I don't know what else.
Yeah. I don't have anything tonight. I just have water because I ate something quickly and ran up here. So no time to make anything today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Laura, we just hope we did our best and showed them things that we show them, and that's about all. I mean, I don't know.
Cheryl says, I love the age my kids are, but it gets nostalgic for the ones they aren't at anymore. I know. And I know. It's so weird.
It is. Did you find that bug? That was quick.
Yeah, we found
We
it.
pretended to find the bug.
I put the hallway light on, and I just said, you know what? Bugs are attracted to. Get in your bed.
I do love hydrogen and oxygen.
I love hydrogen and oxygen.
For water, H2O. 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen.
I like water.
Me too.
I put minerals in my water. Do you guys put minerals in your water?
No, but the only thing I put is lemon.
I put minerals.
I mean, I have well water, so I'm sure I get all my minerals that way.
You probably do. We don't have minerals in our water here. It's gross.
What kind of minerals? What is it? Like some kind of powder or something?
No, they're liquid. They come in a bottle. You can get them at Whole Foods. They're trace minerals.
Oh, okay. I have no such store in my area. I have no cool stores in my area. No
You don't have a Whole Foods?
No Whole Foods. No. Yeah.
Get
everything's
in your bed.
An hour away.
You don't have a Trader Joe's?
No. Nothing cool like that.
It's not
You
going
know.
to bed. This is fun.
It's kind of a pain though, having all those stores, because then you just like
Riley
go to all of them.
Roberts, what do you need?
What's his middle name?
Josiah.
Oh.
You're back. What's the matter?
He decided he wanted to say hello.
What's the matter? Are you okay?
He wants to hug.
Yeah, shop on Amazon. You can get anything. Literally anything.
Yeah.
Anything. It's amazing. If ever I can't find anything like at Target or whatever, I just am like, screw it. I'll just go on Amazon.
Yep, that's what I did. Well, I wanted to get a new mascara because every time I buy mascara, it's like crappy or it's clunky or whatever. So I went on and bought the mascara that the most people bought. So that's what I'm trying this time. And that's the only way to really know is by looking out there to see what the best sellers are. And then I did get, I bought that flick stick that Nicole had suggested, was that 2 years ago? And so then I just got another one because it was, it's all dry.
I can't use that. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Because my eyes turn down. So to use the flick stick to make them go up, it doesn't translate. It doesn't work for me. I gave it to Becca. She doesn't use it because she doesn't wear makeup.
Yeah. Oh, I should go get it really quick. Cheryl just asked which mascara. It's like a L'Oreal telescoping.
I have that one in the gold tube. I have that one, and then the Tarte tubing mascara is my absolute favorite. That's the one I've been using for a couple months.
It's called
Tarte, Tarte tubing mascara. It's a purple tube with gold with like stripes on the handle.
I don't know what I use. I just use one that I got from Target. I can't remember though. Elf. I love Elf. I can only wear their lipsticks and lip glosses because I'm allergic.
Some allergies, right? Yeah.
I'm allergic to every other lipstick. It's so bizarre. Like my lips will swell up like Angelina Jolie if I wear lipstick. But not with Elf.
Yeah, it just came today. I ordered because it was the Prime days. So these are my things that I got for myself. This mascara. Because I decided that when we were in Scotland last and we went to Skye, I didn't have any of my makeup. So I ended up I had a mascara. That was the only thing I had with me. And I was like, oh, I like this. I'm just going to wear mascara from now on.
I'll be back.
Okay.
The flick stick is an eyeliner stamp, so you can stamp the eyeliner little wings. Right, let's go. I don't know how long this is.
It gives you the little, line that goes up.
It gives you a wing. It says stamp.
It gives you a little wing. I cannot do the wings. It looks funny on me.
I like them. I had gotten another little winged eyeliner, but I don't care for it as much, so I decided to get one of these ones again. So this was a recommendation from Nicole. And when I bought this one, it said, oh, you bought this 2 years ago. I'm like, oh, wow. I guess it has been 2 years.
Jenny says, I love makeup.
Yes, had I. And this one actually had, you could have gotten a retro one where it was like thicker, like the old Hollywood, like big wing.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes with 2 sticks. There's a right wing and a left wing. It's a little stamp. Here, I have my little mirror. Where's my little mirror?
Okay. I will do that, Cheryl.
Turned it
You know, though, I don't really wear makeup that much, so it's almost like, what's the point? Speaking of makeup, why did the Avon lady walk funny?
Oh my God. I know why. You tell.
Why did the Avon lady walk funny, Maria?
Because her lips were sticking.
Her
lipstick.
Stick.
Her lips stick.
Her lips stick. That was my joke of the day.
See, now
I don't think anybody heard it. I don't think anybody's even paying attention.
See, I'm just.
Hi, Angela. We're doing a makeup tutorial.
This is BBC tonight. We're putting makeup on. See, so it's a little stamp for wings.
So you just stamped it right on there.
Yes, the stamp.
And then does it have a? Does it? Does it have like a drawing thing so you can draw across the top of your eyelids and like blend it?
But I have to practice with that a little bit more because I was looking. There's like stencils and all kinds of stuff you can buy. But no, I do need to practice that part.
I'll put my lip gloss on. There you go. That's all the makeup you get from me. Oh my gosh. She's just full on doing her makeup now. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Thank you all for joining us.
Yes. All 79 of you watching this.
We are at some point going to start book club.
Yeah.
Can you get closer, Maria?
Okay. Well, see. Oh, yes.
I use, somebody's asking me what kind of lip gloss I use. I use e.l.f. and it is, what color is it? It's e.l.f. lip gloss. It's called Wild Rose. Go out on the town? No. Angela's like, wait, was I supposed to do makeup for BBC today?
Yeah.
Maria's doing a makeup tutorial.
Oh,
while you were gone.
I used my flick stick.
She used her flick stick. And you missed my joke.
oh, what was your joke? Was it about a flick stick?
No, it was about the Avon lady.
Oh.
Why does the Avon lady,
Yes.
why did the Avon lady walk funny?
Why did I literally just hear this? Did someone tell this last week? Okay.
No, but I thought, you know,
why do
What?
I actually have that one written down.
Do you know why the Avon lady walked funny?
No.
I don't remember.
Her lipstick.
Or joining the Hellfire Club. Okay.
I think Lord John would love this conversation right now. I bet he'd want to put wings on his
going like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
The voice, the knees. I think I told that joke a couple weeks ago. But yes. I will. When I saw Anne, she told me that joke, and it is funny. I think I did something very similar a few weeks ago. But yes, I will tell it again tonight. Okay.
In Joker's Corner at the end.
Why?
That's because
Like
I'm going to be quiet now, and then it's to you. On to you, Nicole.
Should I? Okay. I'm going to get started because I don't know how much time I've got before I get summoned again. I had to literally catch the bug and flush it before he could see that I had nothing in my
actually had to. Oh,
catch it.
Come on now.
That's when it's a good thing to have like a lint or something around. You just catch it and then pretend that that's the bug, and then flush it.
Don't clean your house and then just get some dust from under the.
Yeah. Oh, here it is under the bed.
Just pull something off the
The
carpet.
thing that's
whatever,
crazy is, I think it just freaked him out that it was crawling on him because we get click beetles all the time, and they catch them because they think it's funny when they like pop up, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it was just the fact that it was
you.
like no. And I think he's like, when bugs crawl on you, then they're bad bugs. It's like, well, no, very black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I don't like it.
All right, Lord John and the Hellfire Club.
Lord John.
So, we start out. Lord John is back in London, at his favorite. You know, they love the beefsteak, and he's back from Ardsmuir, and he's talking with Harry Quarry, who is the former. He's the one that Lord John took over for. Right.
Which is funny reading this and then trying to picture those two from the show, the Harry Quarry from the show.
Right.
Because
the one in the show is like 20 years older than him.
Yeah.
Exactly. I did the same thing. I'm like, oh, they're supposed to be younger, like in their 20s.
Yeah.
Or maybe early 30s.
Which,
but people
again, and I understand like life expectancy was different, right? So like you'd have like 20-year-olds making like huge decisions for, you know, so it's just wild to me that you've got like these young kids basically. Like I think about like a 21-year-old now, like being in charge of a, you know what I mean?
No.
And it's just weird. But yeah, so they are back. Oh, emails. Okay. They're back together, and he's asking him about Ardsmuir, and got all of my notes just disappeared. Hold on.
Cheryl says in the show they didn't seem to know each other or be friends, which they are in the books.
Yeah.
Wasn't he also Hal's friend?
Oh yeah. That's
yes, because in the last book he was the one who was who hired Minnie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So still, he's probably 5 years older than John.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was interesting how they glossed over the fact that there are two other brothers. That like Lord John is the youngest of 4. Like I only ever thought of it being the two of them, you know?
Yeah. So we never see them.
Yeah.
We never hear about them.
No.
Not yet, anyway.
Well, I think too, probably Harry and John are getting together to meet because of the connection of Ardsmuir, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So Lord John is back, and Harry asks, you know, about, hold on. Why is this not syncing? Sorry.
I have something in my eye. Oh.
Anyway, he tells him that Ardsmuir closed.
Yeah.
And then they are sitting down, and someone comes in, and are like this. They're talking about Scotland and how it was just like, you know, not fun for Harry. And he was like, no society but the damn dour-faced Scots either. Never had a whore there who didn't give me the feeling she'd as soon cut it off as serve it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then he says, Harry says, he finds that they've all been transported, and he was like, no more than most deserve. A shame for Fraser, though. You recall a man named Fraser, big red-haired fellow, one of the Jacobite officers, a gentleman. Quite liked him, Corey said, his roughly cheerful countenance sobering slightly. Too bad. Did you find occasion to speak with him? Lord John's like,
Yeah.
now and then.
I don't know.
And then he asks Harry if he knew Jamie well. And Harry's like, yeah, as well as you might know someone like in this situation. And he's talking about how he, which we already knew, had Jamie like eat with him once a week and play cards. And he was like, one could hardly help but feel some sympathy for his circumstances. And Lord John's like, sympathy, and yet you left him in chains. And Harry's like, I liked him, but I didn't trust him. Not after what happened to one of my sergeants. And he talks about how like this guy ended up dead in the stone quarry and no one, death by misfortune, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, ooh, or misadventure, sorry.
Yes.
Which is the same thing that happened at Hellwater,
Mhm.
death by misadventure.
Right.
So, he liked Fraser, but didn't care for the sergeant, but never think a man is helpless gray only because he's fettered, which comes up later. And then all of a sudden, in comes Bob Gerald, which, talk about a boring name. Bob Gerald.
But when he first sees him, he's got the red hair. He's like thinking, "Oh my God, could it really be?" And then like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
True.
Because he says something of like, what does he say?
It is
Not all
not
of my
the same.
highlights showed up. Yeah, okay. So he's looking at him. Why didn't none of my stuff? Okay, I'm missing a bunch, so I'm out of order. Hold on a second.
You are out of order. You are out of order.
This whole courtroom's out of order. um, okay, so he's like nothing like. Of course, he is nothing like. Who could be?
Mm-hmm.
No one.
No one.
He's tall, yes, but not strikingly so. Slight of build, almost delicate. And younger than Gray, he judged. But the hair, yes, the hair was very alike. So this is Harry's cousin, Robert Gerald. And as John is like further studying him, he's like, okay, so the hair is not the right color. It's a deep red, not like copper, like Jamie's was.
And he's got
and his eyes
brown
are
eyes. Thank God.
instead of yeah, thank God. Yep. And so in the hallway, he was talking to someone, and he calls him Bub Doddington, and he's like, the man's a voice like a costermonger. So then, it's someone who sells like fruits and vegetables, like, and is like shouting like a fishmonger, but with fruits and vegetables. And he's like, oh yes, it is. And he goes, he asked him what he wanted, and Bob says he made me an offer that I did not want to accept, or an invitation rather. He's like, must you shout? So Gerald is there because he wants to ask a favor of Lord John. And throughout the rest of kind of their time together, Lord John keeps noticing that Bob is like looking at him. It's like he's like with interest, but he can't quite figure out like what he wants. He just says, like, I would ask your favor, though, if it be not entirely unwelcome. And Lord John's like, I am completely at your command, I do assure you. Which I was just reading another book, and they were talking about, like, it's foolish to agree to help someone without hearing the terms kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I always think it's funny when they always say, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. And they
yeah,
don't
I'm
know
at your
what it is
service
yet.
or your humble
Right.
servant. I'm like, you don't even know what this person's going to ask of you just because
Right.
he has red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you have red hair. You must be like Jamie Fraser.
Mm.
Yeah.
No.
So he says, I can confide in no one. And he's holding on to Lord John's arm. And he says, it might be nothing at all, but I must have help. And he's like, you shall have it if it be in my power to give. And he asks him to meet him at the change near the arcade tonight, just after full dark. And then he leaves.
Dun, dun,
So, dun, dun, dun. So Lord John does a bunch of errands, and he is, as he's doing these errands, he's thinking of Gerald and, like, you know, just how it made him feel a certain way, and that, you know, it's dangerous to have those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're near the river, and there's a ton of people around, and all of a sudden, a whatchamacallit?
Those chair thingies.
Yeah, what does he call it?
Uh,
Sedan chair.
sedan chair.
Gerald gets out, and he's like, hold on, and like all of a, and because Harry notices him first, and John's not like seeing what Harry's seeing, and all of a sudden Harry's like, stop it, like, stop, what are you doing, kind of thing. And Lord John sees a flash of metal, and all of a sudden, like, Gerald has this like startled expression on his face, and then he falls over, and he's basically been like run through with a sword.
And everybody's screaming and running and whatever.
Yeah, and he's like bleeding from his like torso. So Corey's there, and he's looking at the crowd, and he's going, who's done this? And no one, you know, because whoever it was has fled, and so has the bearers of the sedan chair. They've all gone. So Lord John's like kneeling with Bob, and he's going, you know, who did this? Tell me, like, who has done this, and I will avenge you. I swear it. And he looks at Gerald's face, and he makes what looks like a pursing, like he goes like that, which comes up later, and I'm like, okay, John. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a stretch. It's a
Yeah.
stretch that there's this sound, like, we'll get there. So anyway, so he dies, and Harry, you know, is next to him, and he cuts a piece of Bob's hair for his mother, which I'm assuming is Harry's aunt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part one. Part two, an invitation comes to Lord John, and with it a note from Harry, and they're going to go to the house of Lady Lucinda Joffrey, which, as soon as I saw Joffrey, all I could think of was Game of Thrones.
I know. Mm-hmm.
Didn't see it.
Oh, he's a bastard.
He's the worst of the worst.
Worst of the worst.
Well, yeah,
About.
yeah,
No.
just about as bad as you can get in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so with the note, there's also a broadsheet, and then another note with a seal from G. Bub Doddington, who wants to have, if there's time, probably the same event, talk to Lord John. And this is also the guy that Harry thought that Bob Gerald was talking to in the hallway before he came in to see them at the beefsteak. So the broadsheet is basically all about Bob, and it's called A Blot Removed, and it's basically calling him out as being like a sodomite and all of this other stuff, and
A he-whore.
a he-whore, yeah, whose ludities outraged the public until scandal flamed up, blood red as the abominable, yeah, color of his hair. Because that's the other thing, right? Redheads are also supposed to be like bad luck. Remember all the stuff that Jamie had to do on the ship because he had red hair?
Yes.
Yeah. So Joffrey House. So Sir Richard Joffrey, the husband of Lucinda, is Harry's older half brother. That's the other thing too. I'm not used to like meeting new characters this way. You know, like I feel like we're so well established that you meet new characters, but it's for like they're going to end up being important. And this felt like it was just like a little bit of a blip. Like, do I really need to remember these names, or can I just kind of like vaguely, you know?
Only for the story.
Yeah. So
Well, who knows?
John is kind of surprised that they're throwing this big party or whatever on the heels of Bob's death or assassination as he's calling it, because she was close to Gerald, and she actually even addresses it later too. So John shows up, Harry's already there, and he says, he asks what news, and Harry's like, well, you saw the broadsheet, right? Okay, remember Lucinda. Good to know. And he says, you saw that unspeakable piece of excrement? And he's like, the broadsheet? Yes. Where did you get it? They're all over London, not only that particular excrescence, many others as vile or worse. Gray felt a prick of deep unease. With similar accusations that Robert Gerald was a pederast? Yes, and worse, that he was a member of a notorious sodomitical society, a gathering for the purpose of, well, you'll know the sort of thing, disgusting. So now John's like, okay, is Harry talking about that it's disgusting to like tear down someone who's already dead, or is he saying it's disgusting, like what it is that he's being accused of?
Right.
Because obviously Lord John might not be a member of these societies, but he does have some proclivities.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he goes, need I say that such accusations have no truth, not the slightest pretension to truth? And Harry won't look at Lord John. And John goes, no, you need not say so. I am certain of it. And he goes, thank you. But he's like, I just think it's kind of weird, again, to bring it up that he's dead. Like, he's like, is it why blacken his name? He's dead. Who would think it needful to murder his reputation as well? And Harry's like, Dan, you're right, but who? And then they're looking over the rest of the guests. Which, I mean, it's true. Like, the guy's dead, so if you're trying to silence someone, well done.
Yeah.
But so he meets Lucinda, and you can tell, like, she's been crying and she's upset, and he's like, why would she want to open her house this evening if she's so upset? And she flat out says, you probably think it's strange to have like this gathering, and she says, it was my husband's wish. He said we must, that to shrink and cower before such slander would be to grant it credence. So basically they're saying, like, if we show that we're not bothered by these accusations, then it takes away the power of the accusations.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord John kind of agrees. He's like, that's smart. So then, okay, this is so weird. All of my highlights are showing up like half done. Like half of the sentences are missing. It's weird.
It's weird.
So then Lord John tells Harry that Robert had asked him to meet him like that night. Later, this was supposed to be like later that same night on the change, which is short for the Royal Exchange. So Harry realized this is where I got my drink name. If Gropekunt Street was the main thoroughfare for female prostitution, the Royal Exchange was its male counterpart, after dark at least.
Wow.
Which is so interesting to me that there's a place that's like so infamous for that when it's also so hush hush.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like
I do.
if it's so frowned upon and is basically like a death sentence to be accused of that, it's wild that there's like a notorious street that you can go to. And I'm sure it's not just, maybe it's like women who seek out male prostitutions too, and not just, you know,
Right.
but he still, that's a weird, with on the heels of all these accusations, it's a weird place to, I know the name is, well, that's fine.
I understand what you're saying, but yeah, it is weird. It's like, why wouldn't they just go there and arrest everybody every night? You know?
Well, that's what I mean. Like what? Yeah. So Lucinda's like, that doesn't mean anything. It's a meeting place for every kind of intrigue. I'm sure that Robert's choice of meeting place had nothing to do with the scurrilous accusations, which again just made me think of Claire when she's accused of witchcraft, because she goes, that's a scurrilous charge. She's like, but I know nothing of what would have caused my cousin such concern. Do you, Harry? He goes, if I did, I would have said so, since he did not think me fit to confide in. So Harry has figured out what Bob Doddington's invitation consisted of. And it's far from innocent. And the guy's there. He's like on the other side of the room. Anyway, Lord John says he's political, but not really that important. Anyway, so then the man was asking Gerald to stay at West Wycombe, which is the home of Sir Francis Dashwood. And Dashwood is he the judge, right? That's like railing on later. Is that the same guy?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Like, I need to read this one more time.
I know.
To, like, absorb some of the people and yeah, because
Oh, yeah, he is. He's the one who's like, kind of like holding court and talking about, where is it? He and his friends flaunt their practice of licentiousness and blasphemy as Harry flaunts his scar, and from the same cause. And he's like, I've heard mention Medmenham, no, these freaking names, Abbey, and he's the Hellfire Club, they call it. Indeed, there have been Hellfire Clubs before, many of them. Is this one more than the usual excuse for public riot and drunken license? And Lucinda's like, yeah. And so then Bub, Doddington, and Dashwood are at the center of this like group of men who are talking. Oh, sorry, Justice Margrave is the one who is speaking about all of this stuff. And he's basically like, I should wish that rather than the pillory, the stake be the punishment for such abominable vice. Have you read Holloway's notion, sir? He suggests that this disgusting practice of sodomy be restrained by castration or some other cogent preventative. We're back to Greg being called Gray, and he like tries not to like grab himself as like a impulse to protect himself.
Yeah.
All right. So all of a sudden, John finds himself face to face with George Everett, who he knows, and he says, exile agrees with you, it seems. And he's like, indeed, I must take pains to go away more often then. And then Bob Doddington shows up, and
This is
it's like all just,
this is
go ahead.
somebody that he's like slept with.
Everett?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he says,
Because he comes up right behind him and like presses himself against him at one point.
Everett's perfume was his accustomed musk and myrrh. The scent of it conjured tumbled linens and the touch of hard and knowing hands.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let's see. What does he want
I did not remember that in Voyager.
We heard of George.
Cheryl says we heard of George Everett in Voyager. A scandal with him is what got Lord John Grey sent to Ardsmuir.
Is that okay? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's fruit fly. He wants Lord John to like be a part of their like think tank or whatever it is they've formed. And Lord John's like, you would think I would be sympathetic to your with the interests of your society. And he goes, I'm flattered, but I scarcely think. And then he's like, oh, do not think you would be quite strange. You are acquainted with Mr. Everett, I think. He will make one of our number, meaning like he's part of it too. He's like, okay, well, I'll have to consult. And he's like he's trying to get away. And again, so Harry with his vocabulary, it galls me that such petty time servers and flaunting jackanapes make my kin to be the equal of the heath-strumpets and boogerantos that infest the arcade. Like, what are these words?
I know. Well, I had to look up buggernatos. Buggernatos. It's like Spanish.
How do you say it?
Buggerantos.
I have buggeranto. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, buggering is,
Yeah.
we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Harry's getting angrier and angrier, and she's like, if you must, like, please don't break any of my cups. If you have to crush something, get a hazelnut. He's like, I shall let it be that fellow's windpipe, and if he doesn't like stop talking, basically. What can Richard be thinking of to entertain such scum? Dashwood, I mean, and now this. And he's mad. This is his family. So this is the part that kills me, right? So he's like, Dashwood. He's looking at his mouth in the mirror, and he's trying to make the shapes that Bob made with his mouth right before he died. And I'm thinking to myself, like, there's a reason why lip reading is so hard to do, because your lips don't make all the letter sounds the same, and there are ones that are very similar. So if someone says, you don't know what I'm saying, so he's doing that in the mirror and like figures out that it's dash. Come on. Like, I love you, Lord John, but come on.
But like, that's a real photographic memory to remember the exact mouth.
The shape of someone's mouth
when they're saying something, like that really imprinted.
Right. It just, anyway. So as he's doing that, Harry comes up and is like, are you making faces in the mirror? Are you ill? And so he's like, no. And then another face shows up, and this time it's George Everett again. And he says, you will come to Medmenham, won't you? And he's like, I should particularly desire it. Because he's like so close to George's body that he can feel the pressure of hip and thigh. Scandalous. hip and thigh.
Hip and thigh.
Um,
Hip and thigh.
yeah.
Hip and thigh.
All right. So now we are at Dashwood's estate or whatever, part 3. And he's been there for 3 days. What?
Not because
What?
you were cutting up like your voice, and Tracy and I both noticed it at the same time. We were like,
Oh.
so.
I look down and then I hear something. I'm like, what did I miss? Yeah. So John's been there for 3 nights now, and nothing really weird has happened. And it's basically been just like a house party, which is just so funny to see, like, house party in this context, because it feels like such a modern term, you know.
Big rave going on here.
But
And
there's
the
no
oddest
women.
There's no women, yeah, which is odd, obviously.
Yeah.
So Lord John is basically like going to go to bed, and he feels like he's being watched, but whatever. And he asks Everett, like, what does Sir Francis want with me? I have nothing to appeal to such a man. And George smiles, and he's like, you underestimate your own merits, John, as always. Of course, nothing becomes manly virtue more than simple modesty. And he's like, I scarce think my personal attributes are sufficient to intrigue a man of Dashwood's character. More to the point, Everett said, arching one brow, what is it in Sir Francis that so intrigues you? You have not spoke of anything save to question me about him. You would be better suited to answer that than I, Gray answered boldly. I hear you are an intimate. The valet tells me you have been a guest at Medmenham many times this year. What draws you to seek his company? And George doesn't really answer. And then finally he goes, power. And it's like those secret, remember that movie? Oh my God, was it Paul Walker, Skulls? Where it was like the secret societies of like the Ivy League schools.
Yes, that was crazy.
Remember that? And like the initiations and all that?
That movie.
I didn't see that movie.
That was like,
oh my God.
That was a long, like 99 or 2000.
Yeah, something like that.
That was,
yeah. He looked good in that. I just remember.
Yeah, he was very handsome.
Loved Paul Walker. Okay. So he says, Gray wished no discussion of his desires, not at the moment. The desire of power in excess caused the angels to fall, he quoted. And then George completes the quote by saying, the desire of knowledge in excess caused man to fall. And he's like, what is it that you seek to know then, John? And he says, the truth of the death of Robert Gerald. And George's face went comically blank and then hardened into disapproval. And he's like, why do you seek to entangle yourself in that sort of affair? Such association cannot but harm your own reputation, such as it is. And he's like, my reputation is my own affair, as are my reasons. Did you know, Gerald? And he's like, no. And they just walk back silently. So on the 3rd day, John notices that something's weird, and he wakes up in the middle of the night because Harry is like stationed kind of across the way, and every night Lord John has to pass in front of the window with a candle 3 times to let Harry know that all's well. So he gets up to do that, and then he goes back to sleep. He wakes up and he's surrounded by what he thinks are monks, but they're just men dressed as monks. And they have like their hood so far forward that you can't see their faces. Which, how freaking creepy is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That Eyes Wide Shut movie, that was
God.
creepy.
So none of them speak, but they pull him from his bed, set him on his feet, stripped him of his clothes, put him into a robe of his own. A hand cupped him intimately, a caress given under cover of darkness, and he breathed musk and myrrh. So it's
He knows who it is. Yeah.
Yeah. He knew his companions to be those men with whom he had broken bread at dinner. I mean, who else would it be?
Yeah.
Right.
So he's led by lantern through like a maze, like a, hedge maze. And then he figures out that they're going through like an archway, but then they're kind of carved into what he took to be the semblance of a woman's privates opened wide.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they're headed into the vagina cave,
Yeah.
and
The vagina cave.
What's it called in Aladdin? The Cave of Wonders.
Yeah. He said
Somehow I think none of these men care about that.
Yeah. He
And one of them is
with curiosity. Early experience with horrors had made him vaguely familiar, but had afforded him no opportunity for close inspection.
So once they're inside, a bell starts to chime, and they all start chanting "Hocus Pocus."
I
Hocus
hope the
Corpus.
lips weren't sticking. Just kidding. Never mind.
Lip sticking.
So
Sticking going.
that's when the cave is closed.
Right.
It's sealed shut.
Yeah, so they're in a cave and they enter what eventually becomes a large chamber with candles and like rough hewn walls, and they're basically in like a catacomb. And it's like essentially like a mass, like a ceremony. And then there's a large Barbary ape dressed as a bishop.
I didn't understand. Is this a nightmare? Like, is it a real ape? What?
Well, I was like, is it a
things?
hallucination? But then he's not in like any, like, so this is a Barbary, like it's one of these guys.
Uh-huh.
That's weird.
I'm like, so where did he come from? Where does he stay when he's not,
Somebody just brings their pet
over these ceremonies? Anyway,
Yeah.
very strange. The animal jumps upon the altar where it gobbled and slobbered over the bread provided and spilled wine. Because then, like, ugh. Anyway, okay. So once all that's done, two men grab Gray by the arms and bring him into a small alcove. They bent him over backward over a marble basin and baptize him with blood. Okay. Lord John kicks out and catches Dashwood under the chin and sends him reeling backward. Then he gets punched in the stomach, and he's quiet for the rest of the ceremony. Lord John.
They baptized him. Wait. They baptized the child Asmodeus, son of blood.
And then they set him on his feet, gave him a drink from a jeweled cup. He tasted the opium in the wine, and he tried to let a lot of it just dribble down the front of him, but then he kind of went into went under the effects of the drug.
So Asmodeus is supposed to be one of like the seven princes of hell. And those seven princes are supposed to represent the seven deadly sins, like each one. He's the demon of lust. Yeah. So they bring him into another corridor and then down another one, and all I can think of is like how claustrophobic, he's thrust through a door which closes behind him, and in the room there's nothing except a narrow couch, a table with a flagon, several glasses, and a knife. He staggers to the table and tries not to fall, and he looks over and there's a young woman who's naked and she's also dead. And he can tell that she's thrown up. And that's one of the things that he smells when he comes into the room. It smells like,
gross.
She was young and naked and dead.
Yeah. So he turns to the door, which is locked. And all of a sudden, the door opens and George comes through the room. He's like, what happened? And Lord John's like, you tell me. Let us leave this place and then you tell me. Well, they did like to keep exotic animals.
Yeah.
So he
I
puts out
honestly did.
like he puts out a hand to like stop Lord John and starts smiling, and he goes, well enough. He turns and reaches towards John's waist, pulls loose the cord of his robe, and he just now he's just got an open robe and he's naked underneath. And he's just standing there like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
This
So
is a freak.
yeah, he's taken the cord from Lord John's robe. He takes the cord over to the bed, wraps the cord around the neck of the dead woman, tugging hard to draw it tight, and stands. And he's like, here, don't worry, it's not drugged. Like, he gives him wine. And he's like, tell me what is happening, for God's sake. And Everett's like, it's a common initiation of the Brotherhood. The new candidate, once approved, is baptized. It was pig's blood, by the way, and then brought to this room where a woman is provided for his pleasure. Once his lust is slaked, an older brother comes to instruct him in the final rite of his acceptance and to witness it. And so basically the final rite is like he's supposed to sacrifice the woman, and the whole point is then it like forces the initiated person to be loyal because someone's just witnessed them commit murder.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
So Lord John's like, what the hell? And he's like, and you've done this? And he's like, yes. He's like, no, you know. And he's like, I would have spared you, I think, were it not for Bob Gerald. And he's like, so you did know him. Was it you who killed him? And Everett's like, yes. He just confesses yes.
Yeah.
And he
Okay.
says, I desired membership in this brotherhood whose watchword is vice, whose credo is wickedness, and yet had Bob Gerald told them what I am, they would have turned upon me like wolves. They hold all abomination dear, save one. So basically, this group of like men do all kinds of unspeakable things, but they draw the line at homosexuality. That's where they are like, no, you know, I have morals. There are some things even I won't do. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a dead woman in here, and then you need to,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she wasn't dead when they put her in there, but they think that she threw up while she was passed out and died.
Okay.
So,
She drowned in her own vomit.
yeah. So John says, Robert Gerald knew what you were, yet he did not speak your name as he died. And George is just like, yeah, he was a pretty lad, I thought, but I was wrong. No, he didn't know my name, but we met here. It would have made no difference had they not chosen him to join us. Were he to come again, though, and see me here, and John's like, he would not have come again. He refused the invitation. And George just kind of looks at him like trying to figure out if it's, John's telling the truth. And he's like, perhaps if I had known that, he need not have died. And if he had not died, you would not have been chosen yourself, would not have come. And he's like, well, there's irony again for you, I suppose. And still, I think I would have killed him under any circumstances. Any circumstance, it was too dangerous. So Lord John's like, what the hell? He's like, in the broadsheets, was that you? And he's like, no, that was Whitehead's. He's the poet after all. Like, what is happening? So then Lord John's like, so you intend now to procure my silence by claiming I am the murderer of this poor young woman. And that's when Everett says, like, it was an accident. The women are drugged. She must have vomited in her sleep. And he's like, no, I don't mean to blackmail you. He's like, you sought to use a noose for your sacrificial duty, some mislike blood, and though you succeeded, the girl managed to seize the knife and wound you severely enough that you bled to death before I could return to aid you. Tragic accident, such a pity. Move a little closer to the bed, John. So,
and then
this
he remembers
guy,
what Corey says about never think a man is helpless only because he's fettered.
yeah. So Gray throws his wine in Everett's face, smashes his glass against the stones of the wall, and he's going to use the broken glass to attack George. And he does. He gets him on the face, and I know, Kareen, and he's going to try to attack Lord John, but before he can, he freezes and he drops his knife, and there's like from his it's such a comical, like you see it in movies all the time, right? The bad guy's about to attack and all of a sudden he looks down, there's a blade through his chest from behind,
Yeah.
and then he just like slumps slow again, and like comically just like slumps to the floor.
Jagger.
And it's Harry. Good job I waited, wasn't it? Saw those buggers with their lanterns and all, and thought best I see what mischief was afoot. He's like, afoot? Mischief? Did you hear? And he's like, I heard. But Lord John doesn't know what he heard, but also they didn't come right out and say anything about Lord John.
Mm-hmm.
He mentions his reputation at one point, but that was kind of like very cryptic. And Harry brushes back his hair, and he's like, ugh. He's like, it's not my blood. He's like, some of it is, because he's got like George did get him like right here, one like a little bit, and that's Lord John and the Hellfire Club.
Strange.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate it, but it wasn't.
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And dangerous. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah. It's so funny too, because you think about like, yes, we know that Lord John has been a spy and all of this stuff, and like, but when you think of him in the big books and in the show, he's always so like prim, proper, buttoned up, and so to see this, it's kind of like it was just very weird that he found himself in this circumstance. Yeah,
Right.
Charlotte, I if someone had just given me the cliff notes, I think I would have been fine with it, because it's not like you're getting a sneak peek of any of the other characters that you love. It's not like you're getting any real insight into the big books. Like this was really just kind of like a one-off. Like Tina's like, what was the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just one of the strange roads that Lord John has gone down.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, and this is me, you know, yeah, like Diana.
Yeah.
Cheryl said, Diana's intro explains a lot about how she chooses Lord John Gray's stories. Basically, reads something historical and wants to write about it, but it doesn't fit into Jamie and Claire's story, so she gives it to Lord John. Yeah. Which is fine. You know, I guess personally, I'm used to when I read novellas that are a branch off of a larger series, it's informing with more information into the big books. And this was just, again, I enjoyed it. I wasn't like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked
just.
I liked Fugitive Green a lot more.
Oh yeah, that was so good. Yeah, because that like really told a story. This was just, like I said, one of the strange paths that Lord John goes in. You know, he has all kinds of odd things happen to him in his life, and this is just one of them. So yeah,
Totally.
they're all really kind of. I mean, there's some others coming up, or and anybody there's one of the ones where he's the governor in Jamaica. There's like some strange stuff that goes on with that, you know, but I'm just gonna say, I mean, we all know he was the governor in Jamaica, but there's some strange stuff on that one too. But yeah, a lot of them are just like that, weird.
It does connect to some other Lord John Grey stories, but could it not exist? Yes. We know the characters from elsewhere, but they could be introduced in other stories too. Well, and I think, yeah, Angela, she says the characters are better developed in Fugitive Green. Well, yes, and I think
there was more time in that one.
We had more time with them, you know. And I think part of that is because it's our first real, like that was our first real introduction to Minnie, other than just like Lord John and Hal and William kind of just referencing her and their fear of like telling her bad news over and over. So you had to have more time with her because you don't have the benefit of like knowing enough about her already and having spent time with her in the big books. Yeah. So I'm hoping that I like the next one more.
What is it that we're reading next?
or the Private Matter, Lord John, the Private
Private
Matter, which is in
Matter.
7 stones, right? Or is that separate? Do I need to buy that separate?
This is separate.
Is that in 7 stones?
I don't think so. Hold on, I have it here. Let me.
I wonder if I have that one.
I don't.
Might.
I know I don't.
It is not in here. No. It's its own book.
I haven't had to buy a book for BBC until last week.
This
Not
is the
counting bees, because that was like gonna happen anyway, you know.
right.
Lord John.
Yeah.
Amazon first, because I'm like Laura John in the book, Hellfire Club, and this is
Yes, Laura, I'll post it
and
again.
I was confused because there's 3 stories in here. How many pages? This is.
Wait a sec. Wait, I'm a little annoyed. It's on Kindle. It's $9. That's more than like a lot of my other.
Cheryl says you can probably library it.
Yeah,
About
maybe
300 pages.
It's how many
400?
pages?
301.
Oh, Kindle
Oh.
says 400, so we'll need to divvy that up a little bit more.
Yeah, this one's gonna have to be.
Yeah.
There's
That's why it's $10. It's a novel. It's not a novella.
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Still.
Sure.
But this takes place the following year, so we were just in 1756, and now we're here.
Mm-hmm. Kathy Anderson says there's several at the libraries.
The
And Kim
problem
says
is, though, I need it on Kindle so I can highlight and stuff.
Oh, right.
So I'll
There's
just buy it.
18
It's fine.
chapters. 18 chapters.
Cool.
Okay. But if we're doing like, do we want to do this? I mean, I'm assuming we want to keep them like the same page length that we were doing with the other big books. So
Yeah.
like
I'll
40
send
pages
you
a week, something like that.
Yeah, and I'll also too on this one send you the Audible. Maybe that'll help you too.
Yeah, Kathy,
says
I've done Libby, but the problem is we're gonna need longer. Like Libby is only, I know that the hacks and stuff to keep them longer, but it's a 2-week loan. I'll need it for longer than that. So it's fine. I'll just buy it.
I got this one actually at a used bookstore. It was like $1.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I wonder if I can find it used or new. Yeah. Paperback from 128.
Mm-hmm.
Better.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, I like to be able to highlight, so I need the digital. It's fine. Anyway.
I highlighted in my book with my new highlighting pens.
Ooh.
Nice. The ones that you posted about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, the ones that I posted?
Yeah,
that was a while ago.
Highlighters.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I finally got around to purchasing them.
I thought they looked familiar, but I didn't realize they were the same ones. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I gave some of them to Becca because I got so many.
Yeah,
wow.
and a lot of the colors are really similar.
Yeah. So I gave her all the similar colors.
Lord John and the Private Matter. Buy now with 1 click. Ka-ching! You earned Kindle points. All right. I highlight in Kindle, yeah. Yeah. So, like, hold on. I can show you.
Kathy wants to know the highlighters again.
Oh, if you go to my my page, it's one of my highlighters are in my highlights. Yeah, they're in there. Yeah, so I just highlight right on the page the parts, and then when I'm ready to do my notes, I go to this little tab here, and it brings up all my highlighted sections, and I just go back to the top, and that's how I compile notes for Maria and Tracy.
I'm very appreciative of your notes. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like it too because that's how I can you can just highlight a word and it'll tell you that, I love all of those little features and stuff like that. And I can type, if I have like a thought, you can add a note of yourself. Anyway.
What is the highlight called? Do you know?
On the Kindle app?
No, on your page. Is it called?
Which highlight is it?
I think it's like,
is it under book club?
No, it's not. It's like hold on. I gotta find it now.
Or is it in your link tree?
No, is it merch? Of course, now it's not loading. It might be the merch one. Merch and BBC gear. Yep,
merch,
it's
BBC.
in that one. So it's like the fourth one over.
Pens.
It's got the white T-shirt as the cover.
Yeah,
Aesthetic.
it's called merch/BBC.
Yeah, BBC gear. Anyway, yeah, I'll post the link for the Amazon. Like, if anyone wants to just buy this one, but anyway.
I just got a text message. Do you guys ever get text messages from random numbers?
Yeah, and I always
people
report.
people asking you if you want to go do weird things. Like this one I just got. Hey, do you want to go to the beauty parlor for a treatment together sometime tomorrow?
I haven't gotten anything like that. That is really odd.
Just some
But I get
random number.
Yeah, I've messed people up, like messed with people doing that. I told you my story, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my favorite because it was like over like weeks. Someone messaged me and I made up this like name and character that I was some like 90-year-old woman. And then I think the name, did I say Gladys? I don't know, it was some like old,
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks went by and they messaged again using that name, and then I pretended that I was her daughter and she had died.
Oh my. Yeah, I do remember.
I'm gonna mess with this.
I had a lot of fun with that.
I said no thanks. I'm busy tomorrow. How about Saturday?
The next
I'm gonna pretend. Pretend like I know
book
them.
is Lord John and the Private Matter. You know what you could do, Tracy? You could set up a date to get matching Brazilian waxes.
Yes. Friends.
It's been a while since I've seen your butthole.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyway.
I'll let you know what they respond. I did have a conversation once with somebody, and they sent me a picture of themselves, but obviously it wasn't them. It was just.
Oh! I thought you were going to say like they were naked or something.
Now they're asking. They didn't respond to my question about Saturday, but they did say, "Have you been working a lot lately?" I should say yes, so much.
You're lucky you caught me like right now. I'm actually
so tired.
And I'm away to my second job right now. I'm a lady of the night.
I'm so tired. I'm headed to bed, in fact. Speaking of jobs, Becca and I quit our job.
You did?
Our cleaning job.
Cleaning.
Yeah.
You're not doing anymore?
Yeah. Well, we are doing it until September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laura's like, Tracy, don't talk to them. That's weird.
I know, but they don't know me, and I like to mess with people, though.
I love to listen.
It's like
if you're gonna take the time to try to scam people, then you deserve to have your time wasted.
That's right. Exactly. So I'm gonna waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, Becca and I, we just decided that it was time to quit. We've been doing it for a year, and it was so cute though, because when we were like stressing about it for like, it's been like 3 weeks we've been talking about it, and we were just like kind of stressing about it and what if we should quit or not quit or whatever. But she was like, but I'm gonna miss hanging out with you.
Says the girl who wants to move to New York.
I know. She doesn't really. she likes to dream these things, and
I think when your friends are doing something that's exciting like that, you wanna. It's easy to get like swept up in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just told her, you're just gonna have to make a point then to hang out with me and stuff.
So why did you decide to stop doing it?
Well, she has another job that she's thinking is going to go full time in September.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to Scotland again in September. And so when I go to Scotland, she would have to do it by herself.
Yeah.
And she really doesn't want to do that. And we just thought it was time. And I'm honestly, I have tendonitis really bad in my elbow. And it's like,
it's not helping.
It's so painful. It's so painful. And the job just kind of is, makes it hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So I
It's
just need
time
to rest my body. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. So that's. I need to find another job though.
Well, you're a lady of the night. You can just.
Yeah.
I know.
Whatever.
Ask your new
Sell my
friend.
feet pics. I need to sell my feet pics.
I know. I still think about that a lot too. I'm like, why? But you know what? If people do it, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go get a nice pedicure first or something.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't have to.
Let's go get pedicures.
People are weird. You don't
Yeah,
even.
I know
people are weird.
feet,
You could
so
probably
like,
film. You could probably take pictures of yourself getting the pedicure, and that would be it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's someone out there who wants to see like before and after.
Yeah.
I joke
the funny
with my
thing
friends
is
about it.
like I was talking to I think I was talking to my husband about it. I don't remember who it was that said this.
Kareem.
Turn those tricks, Tracy. I know.
Turn and Tracy.
But yeah, so we were talking about it, just kind of joking around or whatever, and he said something about it being what's it called? A sex job or whatever.
Yeah.
But it didn't occur to me. It's like, is it?
You're a sex worker.
Is that? I mean, people who get.
I mean, not in the sense of like
pics?
you're not
actually taking.
Yeah.
Part.
But you're
providing.
Just FYI, people, I am not doing this.
I mean, I think it's a sliding scale, right?
Yeah.
But the people
I'm not doing
that are subscribing and buying those pictures, it's not because they're like, oh, I like your nail polish.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty.
I'm not gonna lie though, I have explored.
I think a lot of people have explored.
Like, how much money can I really make?
Yes.
Selling feet.
I was just talking to my girlfriends about that. We're like, listen, you can probably make a ton of money.
And, you know, who doesn't need extra money?
Right?
Yes. Oh my God.
Anyway, if I do decide to do that,
I will help you out. I'll get you all set up. Since I'm the tech savvy one, apparently.
She'll provide all of the, make sure that you have everything set up correctly and all your securities are good.
I don't do this, okay? don't make it seem like I'm speaking from experience because I'm not.
There's no shame.
There is no shame, but I'm just saying I'm not.
Nicole Whitehouse was setting up those accounts.
Setting up her friends.
Setting up my friend for our, what is it called again? What is it called? What's that site called? Oh my God, it just totally went
OnlyFans?
The feet pin thing?
Thank you. I kept thinking one something.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, but that's not even the one. There are, because I've seen like TikToks, there are like legitimate websites that they're just for like feet.
Okay.
Like one of them is like Foot Finder or something like that.
Yeah. Feet finders or something like that. Yeah.
Hey,
it's like Instagram for feet.
What?
I think it's like Instagram for feet.
Fans on me. Anyway, Maria, did you have any jokes for us? This took a sharp turn. Tracy needs money.
don't need money.
I know.
I just would like the extra
It would be
cash.
nice
Yeah.
Just for,
Who
Yeah.
you know,
wouldn't?
Of course.
Little pocket money.
little pocket money,
Little pedicure money.
little travel money.
Yeah, travel money.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So, sorry if you've heard this one before, but did you know that boys have 3 knees? 3, not 1, not 2, but they have 3 knees.
3 knees.
Yes. They have their left knee and their right knee and their weenie.
I'm gonna go.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's a good one.
And they're weenie. You're so proud of yourself.
Yes.
All right.
All right, let's see. I have, this is kind of silly, but did you hear about the man? He walked into a library and he asked the librarian, do you have any books for men with small penises? And she looks and she says, I don't know. I don't know if it's in yet. He says,
That's what it's called.
one.
I like that one. I don't know if it's in yet.
How do you make a waterbed more bouncy?
Don't know.
You add spring water.
Wah, wah.
Last one.
Last
Last
one.
one.
Okay.
Okay.
What did one Dorito farmer say to the other Dorito farmer?
Dorito?
Doritos, like Dorito tortilla chips.
Cool Ranch. I don't know.
Yes!
Seriously, really?
Hey, Cool Ranch. I knew you'd get that one.
Cool Ranch.
So dumb.
It's so dumb.
That was a contender for my dad jokes, but I'm like, I don't know. I would have had to use it for Roger. And I'm like, were Doritos out? But yeah, I think they were. They would have been out in the 80s.
Really?
You know, I'm like doing all this stuff in my head. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, when did Doritos come out? That's funny. I don't even know.
I think it would have been in the late 7.
Let's look it up.
Yeah.
When did Doritos come out? Oh my God, 1964.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
They're older
Original
than I am.
Doritos were plain, thin, and crispy tortilla wedges with a buttery, lightly salted taste. So I don't, the originals were very different.
I have to leave, ladies.
Okay.
So Roger could have known them.
Yeah.
I could still, it might be a dad joke coming up.
There you go. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Maria will let me know what chapters we're reading, and then I'll post them.
Alrighty.
We're so together.
Hey, at least it's not like tomorrow and I haven't said what we're doing yet, because that's happened before.
Oh, yeah. It's like, are we having book club?
Listen, Tracy. I don't appreciate your tone. No, I'm just kidding. All right, everybody. Love you.
Right.
Love you.
Bye.